All right, hello, hello, hello. Many of you guys can hear me okay? It's odd. On the intro, it gives me like 10 different sound options, but then in here, it's 4. And I got another message when I logged in. It's like, oh, hot fix. Here's 27 things that need to be fixed in the hot fix. I was like, oh, great. So it wasn't just me. If they're hot fixing it, they know that they got some problems. So it's not just me. So, yeah. Anyway. All right, so some decent movement. Pound's getting beaten up again, but you can see the news is rolling in on this one. BOE's pills, important changes in asset prices. The pound, gets pounded as tax cut plan sinks in. People are not the biggest fan of kind of the BOE's kind of whole. I don't know. This tax cut thing is not making people too happy. So is it justified? I don't know. It's definitely a hard one. I mean, you're seeing things like this. We are monitoring the UK component very closely. Important change in asset pricing is seen in repricing. Repricing reflects normalization after a decade of easy policy. True. It's not indifferent to repricing financial assets. Must also be seen in context of last week's fiscal news and energy prices. Vehicle for making monetary policy assessment and forecast as a process. Yeah. So, I think it's been a long time coming. With the whole Brexit thing, you knew something was going to change. There was going to be something absolutely major changing, after Brexit. And, it's not a bad thing, Obviously, COVID kind of slowed things down. Interesting time that the UK and London is kind of going, rolling into with this. I don't know. I have mixed feelings on it, right? Like it was always more expensive, and now it's I don't know. It's interesting, and these changes are going to continue to roll through. So, Case-Shiller Index deceleration. So we've had other news other news release this morning, talking about tokenization of finance. This is what we talked about. And again, you saw Bitcoin take a huge rally this morning, when all this data came out. Not unsurprising. I mean, again, any type of acknowledgement whatsoever, I think is actually, it's great. Do they have a place in the real world of things? No, I don't think so. I think once every country is truly digitized, I don't think there's necessarily a reason or a place. When large countries are trying to sanction, it's like, yeah, just whatever, we'll do transactions in Bitcoin because we can get around the transactions. It's like, well, yeah. That's what you're trying to avoid, right? And illicit activity and everything else, and etc. So there's a lot out there if you guys are looking to get that one. But anyway, in the last 24 hours, we've seen, for the most part, I'd say rather bland, right? I mean, obviously it's retracing in the last 15 minutes, 60 minutes, whatever. Excuse me. But the euro-dollar 17, that's not a lot. Pound, we know what's going on there, and again, you're seeing that one kind of fluctuate back and forth. When the 60-minute change is minus, 0.2 down, but the 15-minute change is 0.15, 0.14 up, that there's a lot of volatility going, and it's because obviously they're speaking right now. So, and until that's done, you'll probably see this continue to go back and forth. Dollar Swiss 6, not really anything, right? But even something like the pound yen yesterday was monster move. It's 68 pips. So not a lot of movement in the last 24 hours. Euro pound being up 50. And again, it is retracing back now. I think that's still decent. It just shows that we really haven't found the top in this one yet. It still has some room to go. Excuse me. God, I've already had a cup of coffee, too. I don't know why I'm yawning so much today. I think the euro pound's a very interesting kind of play right now. Just because, the UK has many problems. It's not that the EU doesn't. I just think that the UK is just a little farther ahead. I think actually, in reality, I think that the EU has more problems than the UK, but they're just not far enough along yet. And it's just, the focus is not on them yet. And I say yet because eventually it will be on them. It's just not there yet. obviously, I feel like the Ukraine war and everything has slowed down kind of a lot of their stuff. So anyway, one kind of update with that as well too, and we're probably it's not going to be on here. We could talk about it a little bit more. Hold on. We will continue to monitor the forex markets. Okay, yeah, good. That makes sense. The hurricane. Okay, if you guys didn't hear, there is actually a hurricane. It is expected to kind of hit slightly. There's actually somebody on this morning talking about the energy sector right now. They're not necessarily pricing in any hurricane damage yet. But you know how hurricanes go. If they stay on one path, we're good. If they just turn slightly, it's like, oh God, right? If it turns west, then right now I believe there's one rig that is shut down in precaution for the hurricane. Nothing super crazy out of it. I think right now with the people that have taken precautions and things like that, I think it's like it's a temporary 500,000 barrel a day or something like that drop. Not earth shattering because it's temporary, but the markets are not really pricing any type of disruption. What they said though is if it does turn, one of the things that it could affect is absolutely the energy sector, because there is actually natural gas exports that are coming from that area. Right now, everything looks good, but they said there's two big things. One, we're just starting the hurricane season, right? This is the first hurricane to really come through. We're hearing about it. It's the first one, but it just shows how sensitive this entire market is. And number two, Russia has not necessarily fully weaponized or used natural gas and oil as a full weapon yet. They're still raking in the money. They could shut it off and really kind of screw over Europe really, really bad if they wanted to, but we're not there yet. But that contagion is there. It was I liked the interview. I thought it was great. They were talking about what the consensus is right now about where oil will end the year. The consensus right now is about 72% of people believe it'll end the year between $80 and $100. Okay, I think that's pretty good because we're at 78.30 right now. We're below that $80 mark, but most people think it will go higher. That's the general consensus, and the market tends not to be that surprised. And then we have the president today telling oil companies to make less money. And this woman was an energy trader. Very great response back again, and it was kind of like, he's half right, he's half wrong. Yes, they are making massive profits right now, but at the same time, if you look over the last 10 years, they've also been at losses for the last 10 years. So this is kind of how the market goes for them. They have and she said it's not being run. The oil industry is not being run right now any different than any other S&P 500 company. There are years where you're taking losses, and then there are years where you're taking profit. And those profit years are meant to get you through the years of when you don't make profit. And over the last 10 years, there's been extremely low, if not negative, profits for oil companies. So yes, this is their time to rebound. So kind of interesting. He's like, oil companies should not make money. So again, it appears our president is driving us towards socialization, that, companies are not allowed to make profit, is kind of what he's saying. And what she said was, if he's talking about the inflated prices on the West Coast, those are also the areas that have been stripped of oil infrastructure. So yes, it is harder to send oil and gas there. Are they price gouging? No. So obviously, again, making profit in America is bad, in case you guys didn't know. If you're rich, we got to tax you more. If your company makes money, hey, you need to be, you got to make it cheap. Right? But at the same time, we can have a bank bailout where banks can do bad things and we just send them lots of money. And autos, we can send you guys lots of money as well. So, yeah, it's all cuckoo. It makes absolutely no sense. None of it does. But, yeah, so that's where we're standing this morning. And again, oil's up a little bit. The market's like, oh, hurricane? Okay, great. Biden talking about making less profit? Don't care. So it's pretty funny. At 10 o'clock today, we do have consumer confidence, and I'm very curious to see. Actually, the 10 o'clock number I'm pretty excited about. One, consumer confidence, again, expected to be positive, although the durable good orders did come in a little bit lower, which is kind of like, people don't spend money when they're nervous. And number two, the home sales. Everybody is saying, and I do kind of agree with this, that this is not 2008. And yes, I 100% agree with that. A housing bubble is, obviously a bad thing. I've mentioned it in the past. Is this 2008? No, this is not 2008. 2008 was everybody and their brother buy a house, flip a house. You have a pulse? Great, you can have a loan. That's not what we're in right now. But it's affecting kind of different part of the housing, the housing group. And remember, housing is kind of a wave. people buying homes, losing homes, lost money in their homes. It changes our spending habits into the future. So it has a lot more longer implications than what we're going to deal with in the next year. Very curious. Again, can we break that 500,000 mark? Right? Can we break that 500,000 mark? Yeah. I think that's the big piece right there. And then obviously manufacturing was negative, expecting more negative. And guess what? Bullard just came out again. We're waiting for his speech. We have a serious inflation problem, right? Credibility of inflation targeting regime is at risk. Yep. We must not replay volatility area of the 70s. Yep. We need to respond to inflation appropriately. Yes. Again, Super Bowl always has been 100% right. And again, kind of being ignored. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I believe that he will be the next person to take over. The administration was trying to craft it like it was Bernard. Bernard, but again, her speeches, her comments don't even show up as being important. Yet she's the vice, she's the vice person. That they are literally trying to handpick who's going to be next. But if you base it off of action and voting, besides the top guy, the most vocal, the one whose eyes are out there the most is Blard. So again, if he's not next, he will definitely be in charge. And if he's not next time, it's again. I don't know. I believe 100% in quality, but giving somebody a job just based off their sex, I think is 100% wrong. And I believe that's what's happening. And that's why the market, there's nothing. Bernard has, again, nice lady, but again, it's not even listed when she talks anymore. Kind of like Yellen, same thing. Yellen's speeches are now not even considered a gray in a position that used to be orange and red. Yeah. Not equality if you're awarded to somebody just because of their race, color, sex. Again, you shouldn't. With that being said, nobody should be denied it for the same reasons as well. But I don't believe you give somebody you don't give somebody that just because of that one. So, all right, it looks like hello Kipster, hello Mr. Kip. Yeah, Melissa has a 10 o'clock today, so Kip will be jumping in here a little bit. So I may have to pause a little bit as he comes through. All right, so tomorrow, again, we got our 10 o'clock news today. Tomorrow, tomorrow we don't have anything really early. We only really have late data in there. You can see everybody's in, and there's just not a lot out there. It is Wednesday, so, we got our normal, usual suspects. We have oil, which I think will be interesting, just because there's nothing else going on. And then, obviously, the pending home sales. I talked about 500K being big today. Pending is also showing a continued decline. So again, negative and then negative yet again. And then again, we have Bullard and Powell speaking tomorrow. I believe they're both at the same thing. Community Bank Research Conference and then, Community Bursary. Yeah. So they're both at the same exact thing tomorrow. So it's kind of the same release. I don't know. We'll get some of them out of there. We'll get some comments, but not as much. And what is she? She's at the fireside chat with the U.S. geoeconomics. So not a ton of news tomorrow that's really kind of earth shattering. We'll see if we get some comments out of these two guys. May get some, and then obviously Lagarde as well. So not as much in the next 24 hours. Anyway, VIX. So VIX is playing ping pong again through two levels, and it's funny. You would look at this and be like, wait a second, there's buyers here. It's the VIX. It's not a supply and demand based thing. But we dropped down, cranked that 1030 window yesterday, and went all the way back up again. And look, it found people at the top and then cranked back down again, and we're consolidating. Really today, it should continue to go lower. All the indices are in the green, and we mentioned it. Hey, listen, wasn't surprised with things going up yesterday. When we were talking about kind of how they were all in the green and they were, fighting a little bit, but they were in the green to start off the day. And looking at larger time frame levels, they were in areas. They were in areas of buying. Was there any reason for it to go up? Not really, besides that they were larger time frame levels. On a fundamental basis, some of the data was out there, but they're definitely raising interest rates, but we're continuing to roll. So, we're seeing some positivity. Again, commodities are also all in the green. Everything's in the green, basically, today. Dollar, totally flat. It's showing a little bit in the red today. We popped, had those two pops from yesterday. Kind of came back up. It didn't go as high, didn't go as low, and you can see a lot of consolidation in here. I think everybody right now is kind of like, all right, what's next? Are we raising 0.75 again? Are we going to 0.5? Are we continue down the path? If Bullard is out there screaming that, hey, listen, we got a serious problem, I feel like, again, he's still leaning 0.75. Again, another 0.75 would be pretty interesting. It'd be like, Another 0.75. What do we do with that? So, yeah, kind of some interesting stuff. I mean, there's just, again, this stuff is just fascinating when you start to look at it. Anyway, let's pull some of these trades up. So Aussie dollar, we did continue to go lower yesterday. And it looks like, again, we talked about consolidation. We talked about 64.25. At about 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon, it made it to 64.38. Didn't really come all the way down, and that's kind of where we're standing right now. Really, I mean, here's the 10 o'clock. Let's see, we're what? There's our 1031. 22 pips, right? Pip an hour. And a little bit of that was down. A little bit of that was back up again. It did have a little bit of a pullback. You may or may not have gotten into this one. You could look this and said, oh, wait a second. There's our 3 o'clock, right? There's our 3 o'clock candle. It gave us a little bit. I mean, the 530 came in right here. Gave us a little bit of reversal, right? But it was an area that we had already hit a few times. So it was like, it's probably going to break, right? And all it did was go higher, and now it's continuing to go lower. So not really. I wouldn't say that the Aussie dollar has been anything blazing this morning. Couple trades in it, not much else. Again, for me, the two areas I'm still waiting for are, this level up here at 65.75 and then 64.25 if we can get lower. We may take another little bounce in here. You can see that the buyer stepped in and pushed us higher, but it was late night. There wasn't a lot in there, and I wouldn't say that it was really the best opportunity. Okay, Aussie yen. I love the fact that we came down here at 1 o'clock. All right, 12:30, we hit this level. Was not an entry for us. It never actually closed outside of that zone, which is great, but it means that we know we found some buyers and we've actually started to base in there. So we started to chop up all those buyers. So again, we're still cruising between the two shorts that we talked about, 94.13, but 94.20. Love the fact that we've kind of bounced off of this now and we based here, which means we can actually adjust this just a little bit more to get a more kind of near-term basing in there, which sits there and then moves to there. So again, all this did was help us out. We did not get our entry yesterday, but it did give us a new base level. So I'm cool with this one. I think now it's a 93.15 break, and we still look for this overall to come back down to the 90.44. But we're literally riding sideways. Just not enough movement in this one. Not enough meat to really move that around. Euro dollar, also very similar, just sideways. I mean, we were sitting here. Actually, this one's probably says 36, right? But we were sitting kind of like right here in this window, and we're kind of flirting with it. Like we keep kind of up here tagging it. Like, actually, I guess we were up here. I guess it's a little bit more, but from the top of this tag, only about 25, 30 pips. So really sideways movement, not a lot going on in this one. European session took it here. And again, was it in a sell area? There could have been an argument saying, hey, listen, there's a short-term zone. We pulled back up to it, yes, and we pushed that back down. And that was really a kind of this 3 o'clock down. This is one of those ones that if you wake up for the European trading session, it's kind of frustrating because the 2 o'clock hit it, but the 3 o'clock is down here, and you're like, okay, I'll do a set and forget from there, but it didn't. The set and forget wouldn't have triggered. It was a decent runner, though. It was 50 pips to the downside, so not bad for something that's not even that far apart now. But right now, if you're looking for something kind of a little bit more on the aggressive side, you could look at this and say, I'm going to take that. It's tested. I don't think there's a lot of movement today, but that would be at 96.68. And again, look for that one probably profit-wise to come and kind of roll back down into here. I'm assuming we find some buyers at 95.50. What is it? 95.85, right? So I think either of those two levels is good. I still think the 97.03 is the better opportunity. This is more of a short-term piece of it. The 93, again, it had one test and a strong push out and then got front run. And that's still the 23.6 from the bottom. So that's kind of more, that's kind of more of an alert for me. If we can kind of grind our way up there, I think that is a little bit of a better area. Okay. Euro pound. So again, Euro pound, we're talking about this 40 pips. It still looks like a lot. You're looking at that and it's like, yeah, that's great. Yeah, 40 pips, man. That's a big amount, right? Yeah, it is. But you can see that we've really kind of based off. Hello, buddy. Oh, you have a different outfit on. Did you get your other outfit dirty? Yeah, what is that? You got egg all over your face. Close your eye. Ugh. Buddy, you're like a sausage in this onesie. We were talking. So Kip turns, he turns 1 in like 10 days or something like that. 11 days. He basically still lives 90% of his life in a onesie, like footy pajamas. If you remember them from when we were kids. I was like, man, I wonder if we're gonna have to like actually start putting him in like shirts and pants and shorts, or if we can just like because he doesn't really leave the house much. But I feel like oh, these are footy pajamas with the rubber nubs because he's walking or not walking yet, but he can almost walk. He walks with assistance. What are you doing? What are you doing here? Here, you want this? Here, here. So euro pound. What can we do with it right now? We still have that kind of the small little Harry Potter setup down there. Besides that, there's just not much in there. I mean, is there strong pushes top or bottom? Yeah, there's buyers down here, so not kind of surprised. But it's not a level that I want to use for a short. Can I use this level? You could. I mean, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. I guess you could make a case on that one. It's not really at a 23.6 or anything like that. I mean, your 50's up here, and yeah, there could probably be a little case there. This is sitting in the middle, and yeah, it turned off of it, but do you want to use that one again? I mean, it literally went all the way to the peak and punched through and then started the base. So it did roll back, but it's a great level? Not really, right? Not really. In a pair that doesn't necessarily have as much movement, it's 35 pips worth of range there. So go ahead, talk to your friends. Talk to your friends. Not really my favorite. Right. I just don't think there's enough in this one right now. And again, look at this. Really, since late last night, we've done nothing. Europeans sent it down a little bit and has now pulled back up. So in one session, we had this much movement and that much of a retrace. So, and it's still a little bit skewed. Euro yen, also sideways. Right. So yesterday morning, or actually 2 nights ago, right, we tagged this big. This was that kind of implosion of the pound, and we went all the way right back up, literally almost instantaneously. And what have we done since that time? Really not much. I mean, it's a range. I mean, the range is about 60. So, I mean, there is a top and bottom to this one. I mean, you could draw like an equidistant channel and say, well, there's your top. And yes, there's your bottom. I mean, we hit it here and obviously we pinched out and then went up and went down, went up, went down, went up. But we're sitting right in the middle right now. And it's kind of like, what do you do with this? The only thing that I think is good about this right now, and I'll delete this one so people don't get confused with it, is at least we've kind of punched through this bottom side. There's still some buyers down here. If this finally does start to collapse, and again, we get some weak European news, I think this does come down and probably plant itself down here at 137.65. But right now, is this a trending type investment? I would say no, right? I mean, we are literally, I mean, I guess you could say it's trending, but if you're, the trend is sideways, right? It is not a upper, what? About this? There. Just trying to watch the kid. He learned where the button was to reset the computer. So yesterday I heard powering down. I saw it. Not here. I didn't hear it. I saw it. It's like powering down. I looked over and he's got his hand on the reset button. I was like, no, like don't do that. So yeah. Anyway, we got the sideways move in this one. I would say, if anything, more bearish in this one, but we don't really have any news in the next 24 hours. It's going to act as a big catalyst. If we can go up to the 140, again, that's a short for me, but right now we're really cruising down this 139.20 area, and there's just not enough movement in it for me right now. Pound dollar looks very similar. We kind of went, yesterday morning we were sitting here. We kind of took a drop back, found some of those buyers, and then... yeah, we hit 7 o'clock and then flatlined, and we haven't moved since 7 o'clock. What? Even the European session really hasn't moved this one much. Here, you want this? Want this? It's almost like summer trading. Summer trading, how we get like a big movement. Oh, he's banging the keyboard again. Top to bottom in the swing is 70 pips, so I mean, I guess I should probably stretch it out and make it look like that. But what are you trading off of? Right? A bunch of wicks, right? I mean, this gives us the best context of it. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I mean, let's see. Could you have gotten a fib play in this one? I guess off of 50, you could have. I guess, yeah. I guess there was something yesterday around 12 o'clock, right? 12 o'clock would have given you kind of something small here. But can we use that level now? I would say no, not really, right? I guess we could draw it. I guess we could do this. I guess that's the one thing that we have there. The fact that it's hit it all the way down and then kind of hit it pretty deep again and hit it again, I guess there is probably a short there. Let's see. How far down does it take us? All right, you climb up here, buddy, and then you want to go down. Right there. That's actually not horrible because, look, there's going to be profit taking right here. This one. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. What? You're not getting the coffee. Mm-mm. Here, I want this. Yeah, eat the Lego person. I just had to hesitate on this one because it's about 120 pips away. But right now, that's only really the only two confirmed levels. We're kind of sitting in the middle of this last big swing. I guess if you would have traded, if you were literally doing from here up, yeah, there was a 50% retracement on there. It's a little bit deep for me. Again, that would have been just a purely like, hey, let's go down here. Now, you could have taken the long off of it. All right, here, get down then. Come on. Get down. Go. What you could have done is said, okay, listen, here's our confirmed bottom, and then we went higher as we pulled back again, because again, two higher highs, you are now in an uptrend, right? As it pulled back, you could have got this level of risk and taken a long from here. I'd have been very cautious about taking it right here. And again, this is one of those ones where it's great. You're like, yup, 50% retracement. I told you it worked. I mean, if you use the 61.8 as your stop loss, which that's 65 pips. There's your first hit, and it went back up again. Yep, I'm a genius. It hit the 50. Here, I'll do it on the 30, the 15. You're a genius, right? It went all the way back up again. And what did it do? It crashed and actually went even lower. So most likely you probably got stopped out on it. And then hit it again, and then hit it again. So it's a level that you need to be very, very cautious with. And it's, again, learning to read candles, because people see this and like, oh, look at that. It's 50% retracement. Yes, but your entry would have went here and then crashed through and you would have lost money. Right. And again, a lot of people would have gotten very nervous that, oh my God, look at that red candle. And then bam, it slammed in again. Deep red. Oh God, I need to get out. So a little bit of a dangerous, again, hindsight 2020 based trade. Right now, I would say yes, more bearish thinking. You can see it. It's not a zone that's tradable for me, but you can see that, yes, it is a zone. It's slow. The wicks are getting lower, right? The highs are getting lower. The lows are getting lower. So everything is saying downtrend again, rolling into the U.S. session right now with lack of any data, and everybody pissed off at the pound this morning. I say it comes back down again. I think there's a trade here. I don't know if we can get that far down today, but 106.63 is kind of where that one's looking. And I'd say probably can sneak a 1 to 3 in. But again, watch out for 105.36 as far as where the pound goes. Okay, but I would say that this is probably where we're going to grind through. Question is, do we bounce off of this one? If we get a base in there, then that gives us a sign to take that short. All right. By the way, speaking of this, right, I know we've already had one student that did nothing but basically did a funded account off of Harry Potter trades. Did nothing but pass. All she did was she passed it using Harry Potter trades. I was thinking about maybe doing that. It was just kind of one of those, like, I'm always trying to think of ideas to add things to make classes better. I have not had a chance to fix the reversal class yet. Hopefully I can get it done before the weekend. But it's been rough with 2 kids. Jin's home for 2 days because of Jewish holidays. And then all the boys crap. It's just been insane. And then with Melissa being gone, that didn't help either. But anyway, what I was thinking about doing was something along the lines of, funded accounts are getting so cheap to kind of pay for now. And again, the one that Ryan is actually doing, and again, I don't think Ryan has an opportunity to listen to these in the morning. I think he watches the replays, but I think it's awesome that Ryan, one of our friends that we've known for years, one of my students, he's had a small funded account and he's going for the biggie now. So again, best wishes to Ryan on that one. But the nice thing about the company that Ryan is using, if you pass, they refund it back again. Right? Because I don't have any desire to do 10 FTMO challenges and a lot of these other, there's a bunch of different companies out there, but the ones that don't do the refund, it's like, I don't really need it for that because I don't need more funded accounts. But I thought it'd be a cool idea with maybe the one that he's using. You pass, your first payout, they refund you the money you paid for the challenge. Maybe if I start doing a challenge with nothing but the strategy from that thing. So I was thinking about that yesterday. I was like, here's a Harry Potter. Like maybe I do a funded challenge with nothing but Harry Potters. Do a funded challenge with nothing but reversals. Kind of sound like a cool idea, because everybody's always like, oh, well, I love the people that ask, well, what's the win-loss percentage? Like, I don't know. It depends on you. Like, you're not me, so it's going to be different. So it's not a computer. There is some thinking that you have to do, guys. But again, if we kind of tacked it on there with a list of trades, it's like, yep, these were the 10 trades or 5 trades or 8 trades that you needed that were nothing but Harry Potters. Here's a funded account based off of it. Here's a funded account based off of it. Here's a funded. Just sounded like it just was like a cool idea. Like I always brainstorm and I write things down. And I thought that would be kind of a cool idea to add to these things. Anyway, pound yen, snore. I can make it look really exciting if I really want to, but when I do that, look how much wick it is and how little the bodies are. So, yeah, not too much. This one I had a pullback too. Let's see. Were fib traders able to claim victory in this one too? No. Chunked right through the 23.6 like it didn't even exist, because it really doesn't. And the 50, nope, didn't even make the 50. Now, it did make the supply zone or the demand zone right here. And again, turned and rolled off it and kind of did the same thing that the pound dollar did. But, yeah, sorry, guys. This is where I love it, where it's like, oh, it works sometimes. No, stop. No. You want this? You can have this. Here. You can have this. You can have this. Okay? But we're not going to pull everything off. Hold on one sec. He was grabbing some stuff. Hey, look, I gave this person. Eat this little guy right here. Eat this little guy right here. Here. You want this? There. Nope. Can't have that. That's choking hazard. Nope. Not that either. All right. So, not a lot in this one. I would say that if you're looking for some type of a short, there is also a short, probably basing in this level right here. Remember, you will have people stepping into 50 and probably 61.8. It's not going to have enough room to run there. This one's profit target is also a little bit closer. So again, it's not really going to get a full 1 to 3. It's going to be about a 2.5 in there. So I like the pound dollar more than I like the pound yen right now. And again, the pound yen has the proxy, the pound dollar doesn't. So I think go with pure on this one. It'd be shorts and pound dollar that you need. Dollar CAD, retracing back down again. This one's unfortunate. It did give us a decent top and then started the base. You're like, oh yeah, get short, baby, get short. And it never came back up to give it to us. So same Harry Potter that we talked about yesterday, still active. A break of the 135.60 down to 135 flat. Nice little 60 pip runner. It's all the ingredients are there. It's just not moving. It's down 0.09. So yeah, in 24 hours, it's funny. It says that it is up 90 pips from where we were yesterday. Right. So I mean, I guess yesterday we were here, right? 10 o'clock. We were here yesterday. But all of a sudden, in the next hour at 11 o'clock, in an hour from now, it's absolutely flat. So that 90 pips is about to disappear really, really quickly, right? Because we know that it's spiked. And at noon, so in 2 hours, if this grinds up just a little bit more, we're at absolutely flat. So there's probably some sellers coming in here, right? As far as the 1030 reversal goes, could be a short in there. But again, dotted line, red alert button means that this one is not triggered, this one is live. And again, this is how I use technology. Find your trades, get the ones you like, set alerts on there, and then go do other things, right? You don't have to, be married to your computer and sitting here 24/7 and watching every little thing. Oh, you Theragunning now? Yeah, you're Theragunning? Okay. You can Theragun. That's allowed. Theragun it is, buddy. Theragun it is. Bah! Yeah, you're right. So I'd look for a reversal in this one. I like this one. I have a little bit more dollar strength coming in. The reason why I'm looking for this to turn and roll. Oil is technically up 2.3%. Nice run in oil. I think even if someone mentions that the hurricane could start disrupting supply, I think that gives oil a little bit of a pop, or the ability to pop. And again, if we see with no lack of really no U.S. news, and we see lack of no news, and we see oil popping, that should bring Canadian strength in. That should help us roll this back down again. I think it's a little bit high right now. Obviously, Canadian data has not been great, but what are you doing? Yeah. But I don't think it's this negative. I don't think it's 138 negative. So, yeah, eventually this trade will come in. Like I said, don't know when, but I have an alert set there. So when it does get in close proximity, get that email, and we'll be good to go. Dollar Swiss. So, dollar Swiss. We did talk about a little bit of a break, that we had a top and we broke it in there and we touched it. This had the potential for a break, and we talked about break and below that 99. It did. It broke down in early morning hours at 3 o'clock, and then at 5:30 it kind of hit it again and went lower, right? It pulled back up again and kind of went lower, and we're kind of right there right now. Again, this is also a little bit more of a dollar weakness trade. We are kind of high at 99. It's not as good as one, being at full parity, but, it probably has the ability to kind of roll pretty soon. I guess we can adjust this higher. Did it tag it? Ooh, it did. I don't know if they would have got in or not though. But yeah, this one pulled back. I mean, there are buyers there, right? But again, there's sellers sitting right above it. So this one's kind of pinched. Problem is this one just doesn't have enough room to run back and forth. Mark these guys off up top. Gonna go there. Yeah, I see, buddy. I see. Playing with the 3-pinner again. This one is broken through, but I don't know. I think at this point we make the adjustment. We go for 99.50. I think 99.50. As an area of interest, I've kind of lost interest in it. I think 99.50 on that one, and then look for it to roll back down on the 23. Yeah. Dollar yen. All right, so we're so close. We are getting close. 78 actually worked out pretty well, right? Again, I don't like the 78. It gave us kind of a top and then kind of gave us a pattern, and obviously now it's blown through it. But maybe people were able to get a short off of that one. But we don't need it now because once we hit the 78, it means nothing to me. But it was also a front run. It made it up to 144.80. Actually, 144.85. Now we're flirting with this 145 number again. So, the problem with this one is, and again, this is what that intervention did, and this is kind of the big debate, that interventions don't work, right? They do and they don't, right? It did, the difference between here and here in just a couple of hours, if you think about it, if you drop the price here and then move a whole lot of money here, it's a huge difference. So it's hard to say that it doesn't make changes. It does, but it typically it takes more than one, right? It takes more than one to have it happen. 145 should act as a little bit of a stalling point or a little bit of a magnet. I'd like this. If we can get up to 145.57, I would say that this would be another short. Obviously, we need to move like 70 pips. Actually, let's see. What did the news come in as? Whoa, confidence came in high. Wow, new home sales blew that one out. So they were way off on that one. And, oof. So this is all very, very strong dollar, right? Because think about it. Consumer confidence. Buddy, what are you doing? Hold on. What are you doing here? You're hurting yourself. Yeah, it's a little space, but you're not supposed to be squished back there. Yeah. Big confidence number. That's awesome for raising the interest rate even more. New home sales, again, it was projected to be much more negative, much, much better. And again, there's a couple of reasons why. That could be, they're about to raise interest rates again. Do it now before they raise interest rates again. Yeah. So this could be a good thing or a bad thing. But again, the manufacturing index, that's awesome. I think that's great, right? Now, they are saying that it was flat. But flat is better than negative. It was expected to be negative. So that's not bad. I think that's fine. I'm kind of cool with that one. But again, this is everything you need to raise interest rates even more. So, yeah, I'm actually surprised there's not more of a dollar push on that one. Yeah, you're starting to see a rally up. Yeah, you're starting to see the reds peek in. The reds are peeking on all of them. They're like, oh, God, no, not good data. We don't want good data. So, yeah, look for this one to potentially come up. Remember, as the markets turn negative, the yen tends to get a little bit of strength. So that one's probably what's battling right now. But 145.57, look for that to roll up. Crude oil. So again, crude oil had a nice little pop at 9:30 today. It's rolling back. There's the trade from yesterday. It is out. Let's drag this a little bit lower. You're right, buddy. There we go. And again, oil very technically traded, so not necessarily surprised we took a bounce off that. Let's move this one down. All right. So 5:30. There's your 3. There's your 5:30. What? Did you go boom? Yeah, you went boom. Put that right there on the red. Yeah, tagged it. Nice. From 8:30 on. Yeah, not a bad one for today. Versus what? The dollar? Would you do it against versus the dollar? Yeah. I don't have it on here. Let's see. From here. From that guy. Or would you? This is the opening release one. Mm-hmm. Actually, there's your 1 of 3. And your 1 of 3 is right there. So you're out. It's a good one. 15 for 45. Nice little run for the morning. You could be a one and done on that one right there. Right? You can be a one and done. Nice little roll. Right? Nice little roll on that one. Good job, Jeff. Yeah. I mean, you're grabbing 30 pips a day as a target, right? You want 30 pips a day. It's like the Apple thing, right? But yeah, nice little run. The deterioration, this one is like unbelievable. This is like bonds, right? New Zealand. I mean, from August, it's like a bonds run, right? Actually, I think the daily is even worse. Yeah, right. It's a bonds thing from January 2020. It's like a bonds run. So yeah. Anyway, let's go over to natural gas. It's bonds, and then we have the opposite over here. All right, so here's what we got with natural gas. Oh, I mentioned oil. Sorry, let's go to crude oil. So crude oil, absolutely an area. Again, hurricane is obviously going to be a big deal. We're going to hear about that in the next 24 hours. The initial cause, the initial mention of a hurricane, everyone's like, oh my God, go long. But again, this one they said that the market is not pricing it in. They're not expecting any type of a hit. So it's not, it's right now it's a non-factor. If it changes, then we will see. And it's weather. I mean, it's obviously weather's unpredictable. The weather people are, best job in the world. They are, wrong more than they're right. Again, if it turns, look for a pop. If not, again, the fact that everybody's like, yep, no big deal, it's not going to hit it, I would probably say look for this to turn and roll a little back down. Now, having the numbers we just saw means that the consumer is not as concerned. So, again, means that they could be spending a little bit more money out there. Not bad for gas. Now, natural gas is down a little bit. This one came back, and again, that was the bottom yesterday. Unfortunately, it didn't make it to the 23.6. Here, I'll extend it across so you can see it. Did not make it to the 23.6. It did run into the area of selling right here. There's your base, and there is your explosion candle right there. If I put that across, yes, there was a short. And what did it do? The old zone on the other side that was the bottom, right? It was bottom, 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 top, bottom. Okay. Right now, I think this is a decent candle formation. I like this down here. I think this is in the same scenario. This one is actually set up more. I would say this one is probably set up more right now for a long, right? Again, this is kind of like if the hurricane changes and it affects natural gas supply, that could be a reason why. Now, again, we don't bank on hurricanes and things like that. Those are like kind of in the act of God clause. So, not something that we're banking on, but again, fundamentals are kind of line up with technicals, so we'll see. Gold. So gold did go a little bit lower yesterday, and now, since the Europeans kind of took over, it's funny. A lot of this movement here happened from that 10:30 time period on. 10:30 to 1, boom, it moved, and then kind of just retraced back and lost most of what it had. And then once the Europeans stepped in, it was like, we don't know what the heck to do with it again. And now it's just chopping back and forth, and it's not doing a whole lot. So, interesting where gold is. And we talked about 16.18 being a target. Unfortunately, we didn't get down that low. We made it to 16.20, so we missed it by, I don't know what, a dollar and some change. Again, it was a zone that got front run. I'd adjust the target a little bit. There are some buyers stepping in here. They obviously slowed it down. Instead of going for 18 and almost 16.19, look for this one at 16.22 if you're going to be short. Again, that's a $14 drop, so that's a decent. That's not a bad drop. But I think right now, I think that's where the safety net is at the bottom. Again, it was okay. It was in the middle, like end of the day, so it's okay. Yeah, buddy. Bah, that's exactly what I think too. Say 16.22. Bah, too choppy for us to draw a zone on it. Now we can draw one up here, and again, this is not a new one. There's your bottom. There's your top. Not a new one. And now it's officially a 20. It was not a 23.6. Now it's officially a 23.6 as well. So, yeah, maybe if we can get up there. 16.46.25. Okay. Silver, what do we got down here? Yeah, the 23 didn't do anything on that, so we'll remove that. You can see the 50 got sliced through. The 61.8 worked. Then it got sliced through again. Now we're hovering. Let's bring this back so we can kind of see. Actually going to pull this now. I don't need that anymore. Let's pull it from the top. You can see it's just blowing that one up. But, we've got the 61.8 on a level now. And look at that. Look at that 19 right there. 19.12. Pop, based, and it just happens to be the 50. Silver's got a couple interesting setups here. A couple interesting spots. This, I like the candle, right? I like that candle formation. I could do without the bottom wick of it, but I think that's an interesting spot right there. I like how this right here is sitting right at the 50. And then I also like how this level is 61.8. So I'd say kind of a silver cheerleader today. It's up 1.9% right now. I kind of wanted to go just a little bit farther, and then listen. What are you playing with now? What is that? Oh, you can play with that. Kind of want this one to roll, right? I'm kind of okay with this one. It's like, hey, listen, go silver, get up a little bit higher, and then we have 3 different selling opportunities here. I think Any three of them could be decent. I like the 51 because that's the strongest push off of it. This is a little bit in the middle, so we won't have as many kind of that technical fib trader out there joining us, but it is definitely a level. I mean, strong entry, one candle top base, and a strong push out again. So, yeah, there's some silver shorts coming up. So, but we need silver to go a bit higher first. We kind of need to cheer silver on. Kind of joke with tickle the candle, get it to go higher, right? Put a flame under it, do whatever you got to do. But yeah, silver, go a little bit higher. I like this one. All right, let's check opening prints and see what we had here today. Look at that one. All right, so opening prints. 930's in the middle. I would say probably no. So the 930 open is the green right here, right? It's kind of in a level, but if you look at the 930, we did get the pullback in, right? The 9 is actually here. So from 9 to 930, we got no movement. It pulled back from sellers and then based. Okay. I would say really, I'm not a huge fan because there's your bottom and really kind of there is your top, right? There's your base of the top and the 9 is right here, this green one. So there's not a 1 to 3 in either direction. I would say that this does not qualify, unfortunately, right? Unfortunately, you didn't make it on this one. Yeah, kind of. I mean, I like the pullback, but unfortunately, there's a little bit of a cap on it. So no, this would not have been an entry, unfortunately. Yeah, and I guess there'll be people that try to take it long because there was a little base there, but I mean, it's an okay of a hiccup. But the problem is you had sellers confirm sellers up top, so you had not even a 1-to-1 to move on it. NQ. Let's see what we had here. 915, 930. This one probably yes. So yes, there's sellers up top, but you can see if there's your old zone and we were getting higher highs, it means that they were running out of sellers up top to slow this one down. So here's your area of basing right there. And again, it pulled back and kind of maintained and started in there. So this one, I would say, this one, again, it depends how risky you wanted to take it. Let's see if this one would have actually triggered for full. Actually, I probably would have shrank that risk down just a little bit. This risk should be down here, right there. There's 1 to 3. And actually, this is already deep. There's the bottom of the zone. That's 2.8. 3 is right there. Can't get it right on there, but you guys can see there's your 1 to 3 range. So NQ, yeah, there definitely could have been a case made. It was very, very close to the low. It came down to the lows here, and again, actually, this should be there. Came very, very close. So again, futures, you may have been kind of weird, but again, options, you would have been fine on it. Taking this one through the top, it's a 2.7. 3 is right there. I keep adjusting the top and the bottom of it, but yeah, you would have hit it right before. Close though, very, very close. YM. Let's see, the 9 o'clock, 930 was not in a zone. Yeah, 930 was unfortunately, I guess there could have been, you could have said, well, wait a second, the zone was right here. Right? There was a zone all the way down, and we did push that. 9 to 915 was straight down. Let's see. Yeah, so that would have worked. Now, am I surprised that it turned and rolled? Not at all. Right, there's the top. So again, between a rock and a hard place, this one did have enough room. So arguably, I don't know. This is definitely a no. Right, we're sitting smack in the middle with no room. This one would have been very, very close, but yeah, probably. This is a definite entry. And again, you're obviously out on that one. And then Russell, let's see. Russell looks very much like the ES. Yeah, the 930 candle is deeper than this one, so not really qualified. You would not have triggered down here. Right, the not trigger went up again, grab the orders, turn and flip again. So yeah, so one guaranteed entry, one potential entry. Had you taken those entries, both would have went. The best one of the morning would have been this one right here. It was the cleanest base, and again, the 9 drove straight down and almost touched it. that was the best opportunity, and you definitely had room for 1 to 3. If you got greedy on this one, you lost, unfortunately. But again, there's your 1 to 3, and that's actually 3.02. So you can see that it definitely gave you some buffer to the top side. So yeah, not horrible. All right, what do you got? Twitter. Look at Twitter. Twitter's, we're in the green. We're in the green, baby. Are we? Are we in the green? Totally sideways movement. Looks like that wants to turn and roll and flip. Apple, also the same thing. The open went all the way up, came all the way back down, and we're stuck. Looks like it wants to come back down and test 151. Tesla went up in the overnight pop that is now holding. And again, if it is unable to punch higher, it's not surprising. There's a level sitting right there, and that's exactly what it ran into. So I don't know, guys. I'd say right now, these 3 big tech guys, Twitter, Apple, and Tesla, all look like they are entering areas that are short. Tesla is trying to get through, but being 1030, not looking good. Not looking good. So I don't know. I wonder if the indices roll red today. Like I said, very strong data. Menu activity flat is fine. They make that seem like it was bad, but it was expected to be negative. And yeah, consumer confidence improved again, and the home sales. So yeah, I mean, if we're gonna start attacking, grains of rice into a balance of whether we're raising or not, these are all grains of rice on the side of that we need to do another 0.75, slow this market down. Great consumer. God, now I want the JOLTS number. Give me the JOLTS number now. Yeah, good stuff. All right, that's it for today. Let's go ahead and like I said, I mean, right now, look, 8, 12. All the retraces are coming in. 22. Again, a little dollar strength coming in as it should be. 50, 51. I mean, is it really getting blown up? 51, 7. Getting a little flat today. So, all right, let's go ahead and do the drawing. So Debbie going for number 3. All right, Debbie's going for number 3. She got her 100 yesterday. She's going for number 3. Debbie's a big spender today. She's like, I'm going 3. I went 3 yesterday, even though I'm getting 2.5 times the pip chips for the win today. All right. Who are we missing? New Ernest is coming in. John, you're here. I know you got in yesterday, John. And John, you did. It's exclamation ticket, right? You did whatever the 2 dots are. Is that colon, semicolon? I think is that colon? I forget what it is. Is that colon or semicolon, the 2 dots? I always remember that. I always forget that one. Not remember. I always forget that one. Anyway, all right, Johnson. So we just want to make sure, I'm sorry, not John, Jeff. Make sure you got in on that one. All right, here we go. Winner of today's drawing is Ernest spent big yesterday. So Ernest like, I'm gonna go in until I win. I'm gonna buy the victory. Winner of today's drawing is Sean, and Sean took it with 1. Look at that, Sean with 6%. Wow. So not only did Debbie not 3-peat, Ernest got stopped on that one too. So look at that. Sean coming in as the villain today. Wow. And again, it just goes to show you, you can throw money, you can throw pip chips around, but it doesn't guarantee a victory. It increases the odds in your favor, but at what cost? I wasn't even trying. Sean's like, I wasn't even trying. I was just, no, I can't be mad at Sean. No birthday chips for Debbie. Wait, is today Debbie's birthday? Wait, today's Debbie's birthday? Did I miss that one? Did somebody say it's Debbie's birthday? Are you guys messing with me? Is it Debbie's birthday? I don't know. Is it? It is. Happy birthday, Debbie. I would sing, but you would cry. It's horrible. I had no idea it was your birthday today. Well, geez. Had I known that earlier, Ernest, we could have put like cake. Like I could have put cake like over here somewhere, like happy birthday, Debbie, right? Like on the charts, it could have said happy birthday, Debbie right here. Thanks for sharing after the fact, Ernest. But happy birthday, Debbie. Debbie, I'm telling you, 30 is not a bad number, right? Being 30 again is not horrible. So, highly recommend it. So, all right, with that said, I'm out of here. 10:35. I will catch you guys tomorrow morning. Be on at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Remember, tomorrow is a little bit more flat, right? Again, some speeches, right? Some activity. Maybe the hurricane will move a little bit. We'll get some oil play in there. But for the most part, it looks like it's just going to be a pretty standard kind of low drama based day. All right. So with that said, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. See you guys 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bright and early. You guys have a great one. And Debbie, once again, happy birthday. Take care.